Hello students, today we are going to learn about Python list. Before we start Python list, let's try to see a problem. Suppose you need to create a record of students with information such as name, class, roll number, and you need to store this in your computer or in your Python program. Then, so far what you have learned, that you can create different variable names to store different data. Right? But now think about, you need to store records of 40 students. So then you will require 160 variable, and managing all that variable will be very difficult. That's why Python gives a way to store different types of data together, making a collection. That's what Python collection. The above data we can store this way also using a single variable. See, and using this variable we can access all these different data when required. So one of the Python collection is list, and this is a representation of list. Now let's see in detail how we can use Python list and what are the different operations. List is a Python data collection which allows us to group multiple values together, and we can reference them or we can access them using the same command name. To declare a list, there are two main ways. One, and which is used the most, using the square brackets. Another method is there using the list method. Right? So if we directly assign a square bracket to a variable, then we will create an empty list, and this list can be used later on to add values. Second thing, we can use the list method also to create an empty list. And you can see the third way where we are using these values 15, 21, 39, and you can see each values are separated by commas. So if we want to create a list with different items, then these items can be comma separated and we can include within a list. Right. Now when you create the list, this all element or each element will be stored in memory in a different location, and all this memory location is indexed. How it is indexed? Till index from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 and so on. If you want to add more values, then it will add, and the new value 7, new index value 7 will be given to that. Interestingly, list have negative indexing in Python, and that negative indexing will start, or you can start it from the last number, and it will start with -1, then -2, -3, and it will go -4, -5, -6 and -7. Now the negative indexing always start at the last, or you can say at the rightmost element, and it will be start with -1. So every list has a two type of indexing, one which will start from 0, and also we call it forward indexing, and one with negative numbers or negative indexing, which we call backward indexing, because it will start from the rightmost element. Backward indexing. All right. Now these index are used to access each of these element. Suppose I want to access this 27 element, then I need to write print L, then the square bracket and the index number, which is 3 here. And this is the statement which we can use to display this value 27. So if you want to use this value in addition, subtraction, or means any other operations, then you can use this list name, which is the common name, and the index value here. So let's say 4 again, and you can use that value which is stored in index number 4. Right? All right. So there is one other way to create a list using the list element, where we use very less, this method we use very less, but yes, here a string is passed to the list method, and this list method will divide each of the alphabet into a list element. All right, now a list can hold different types of value, like it can hold string, it can hold numbers, it can hold floating point number, also boolean values. All different types of value it can hold within a single list, right? We have learned how to access individual element, but using list slicing we can access a part of the list also. Suppose I want to access these first three elements 15, 21, 39. So this can be done using the list slicing. All right, so we will get back to this list slicing in a short while. At first, let me show you examples how to create this list using Python environment. I will run and execute the code using a Google Colab environment. So let me create a list. L equal to some random values I will use, and for now I will use only numerical values. You can add anything you want. All right, so these are some list element. So Colab provides us Jupyter Notebook environment. So here I can execute a single line, and then this will be stored in memory. I can create multiple cells and I can execute them. So all right, so now to display, the first thing I will display one particular element. Suppose I want to display this 17, then I need to know the index of the 17. So how I will do that? Let's find out the index 0, 1, 2, 3, right? Then 4, 5, 6, and if I talk about minus index, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, and so on. So if I write L3, it will give us this 17 element, and the same element I can access using the negative index, the minus 4. The result will be same. All right, so now you have learned how you can access the element using the index number, right? So we were talking about slicing, right? So slicing is a method to display a subpart of the list, right? So that's why the slicing contains starting index, stop index, and a step. Now step is optional. If you do not give the step value, then it will be always 1, which is the default value, or you can give a step value an integer. Let me tell you here, the start value is bounded within the range, means if you start from 0, then the 0 will be included. Now stop value is not bound in the range, means if you give a stop value 5, then it will not display up to 5, it will display up to 4. Suppose the start value you have given 0 and stop value you have given 5, then it will display 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 only. 5 will, means index number 5 will not display. All right, that will be clear in the example. So let's go ahead here and let's try to do the same thing. I want to display from number 0 to 5. All right, step value I have not given, which means it will be 1, means it will be going sequence. So as you can see here, it will display 0 index, 1 index, 2 index, 3 and 4. Number 5th index, which contain 25, will not display, right? So the stop value is not bounded, means if you give a value, it will not display that value, but it will display 1 less than that value. Now same thing, if we use a negative indexing, let me show you how it will display. Suppose we will start from minus 5 to minus 2, right? Or maybe we just include one more, 6, right? So here minus 2 is the stop value. Now in this case, okay, let me write down this one. Yeah, in this case it will display from this way, 6 minus 5, sorry, 14, 15, 17, like that, right? So let's execute it and it will be clear to you. As you see here, minus 2 index value is 25, that is not displayed, which means it is excluded. Minus 2 is excluded, right? So now one more way is that I can write in a reverse way also. Suppose I write minus 2, then slicing up to minus 6. Then it will display the same values but in a reverse order. But it will not display any value. What happened here? So when we go from minus 2 to minus 6, actually we are adding minus 1, right? Means minus 2 plus minus 1 is equal to minus 3, means that's how we will get the minus 3 index. But the step value will be always default is 1, right? Means from minus 2 we are going to minus 1. If I add one step value to minus 1, we will get minus 1, which is not the direction of the list index here, right? That's why it will not display any value. So to rectify it, I need to add a step value of minus 1 instead of 1, and then if I execute it, and you can see the value. This will be more clear when I will use a positive indexing, right? All right, so let's clear this up. So L, let's say I want to display from 5 to 1. So 5 and 1, and then I need to write here step value minus 1. Then only it will go from 5 to 4, 3, 2, 1, and so on. But of course, it will not display the value 14. Yes, to know this, here you can execute it. It will display up to 15, this index. All right. Now suppose you want, okay, let me clear this up now. Yeah, suppose you want to display now from the third index, which is 2, to last up to 16. How you will do that? So if you want to write this from index number 2 up to last index, positive index is 6, but if I write 6, then it will not display the 16 value. Then I can add one more to that index, which is 7, right? Then it will display up to last. There is another way. If we want to display the list up to the last, well, we can omit the stop value. So let's start from 2 and then a colon, and stop value we will leave empty. Then it will display up to last. Right. Now suppose I want to display excluding one element in between. Means I want to jump 2 steps instead of 1 step from 15 to 17. I want to jump 2 steps from 15 to 19. Let me clear this up. Yes, 15 to 19. Then what I need to do, I need to add a step value here. So we will leave the end value empty because we will go up to the end. Another column, then I will give the step value. Well, using list slicing, we can reverse the whole list also. For that, what I need to do, I need to give 2 column and then -1. Now here I'm leaving the first and second space empty, which will represent that from starting the end. All right, but now as the indexing is negative, what will happen? It will start from the last and it will come to the beginning. That's how it will reverse our list. 16, 25, 19. You can check with the above one. The whole list is reversed now. Right? So this is what the list slicing. So three things to notice here: start value, stop value, and step. If you leave the start value empty, then it will start from the beginning. For that example, I have not given you here. Let me show you. L, and we will start from the beginning, and I will go up to the fifth element, right? Then it will go what? It will start at 0, which is 12, 14, 15, 17, 19, right? So if you left the end index empty, sorry, stop index empty, then it will go up the end of the list. And if you leave the step value empty, then the default value will be 1. All right. So that's all for this video. In the next video, we will discuss list operations, how we can traverse a list, and also we will see different list function and methods. Thank you for watching the video.